I almost didn't make this video. The first time someone told me you could make water safe to drink with a $3 bag of pool shock, I assumed it was the kind of thing that sounds clever on Reddit and ends with a trip to the emergency room. Pool chemicals in your drinking glass. No thank you. Then I looked up what my own city's water treatment plant actually uses to disinfect the water coming out of my tap. It's the same compound, the exact same one. So I bought it. And I bought a Brita, a Pure, and a ZeroWater to test against it. I was wrong about this. Here's what changed my mind. Stay with me on this one. Here's the thing nobody puts on the box. The average household spends somewhere between $40 and $100 a year on water filtration, and a lot more than that if they're buying bottled. A ZeroWater pitcher runs about $38. The replacement filters are the expensive part. Consumer Reports tracked it. Change the filter as often as ZeroWater recommends, and you're looking at around $255 a year. A Brita is gentler on the wallet, about $42 a year in filters. A Pure faucet mount lands in the same range. None of that is outrageous on its own. But here's where the math gets strange. A 1-pound bag of plain pool shock costs about $3 to $5. That single bag can disinfect over 10,000 gallons of water. Not 40 gallons, not 100, over 10,000. Same active ingredient your water utility uses. Nobody put it in the drinking water aisle, so nobody thinks to compare them. Here's why it actually works, and it's simpler than you think. The active ingredient in that bag is calcium hypochlorite. When you dissolve it in water, it releases hypochlorous acid. That's the same disinfecting molecule you get from regular chlorine bleach. It's also the same thing municipal plants have used to make tap water safe since the 1920s. It works by oxidizing the cell walls of bacteria and viruses. Think of it like a key that breaks the lock on a pathogen's outer membrane. Once that wall is breached, the organism can't survive. And the EPA publishes the recipe. Their emergency guidance says to dissolve 1 heaping teaspoon of granular calcium hypochlorite into 2 gallons of water. That makes a stock solution. Then you add 1 part of that stock to 100 parts of the water you're treating. That's a government agency telling you, in writing, how to do this. Here's the part that reframed it for me. A Brita filter costs about $7 and is rated for around 40 gallons. The powder I'm holding cost $3 and can disinfect 10,000. Same chlorine chemistry that cleans a city's water supply. The only real difference is which aisle the store decided to stock it in. All right, here's the setup. Took me about 20 minutes. Should take you about the same. Here's everything on the table. A ZeroWater 10-cup pitcher, $38 on Amazon. It comes with its own meter. A Brita Elite pitcher, about $36 at Walmart. A Pure faucet mount filter, about $25 at Home Depot. 1 pound bag of plain 68% calcium hypochlorite pool shock in the Swim or Pool Shark brand. About $3 to $5 a bag in a multi-pack from the Walmart pool section. A cheap meter to read total dissolved solids, about $13 on Amazon. And free chlorine test strips, about $8. Now the powder method. This is the part to save. Step 1. Make the stock solution. Do this outside or with the windows open and wear eye protection. The dust is an irritant. Dissolve 1 heaping teaspoon, about 1/4 ounce, of the pool shock into 2 gallons of water. Stir until it's gone. That gives you a stock of roughly 500 milligrams per liter. One rule, and it matters more than any other. Never mix it with anything but water. Step 2. Treat your water. Add 1 part of that stock to 100 parts of the water you want to clean. That's about 1 pint of stock to 12.5 gallons. Step 3. Wait 30 minutes. The chlorine needs contact time to do its job. Step 4. Aerate. Pour the water back and forth between 2 clean containers a few times. That knocks the chlorine smell down. Step 5. Verify. Dip a test strip. You want a free chlorine reading in the safe drinking range, not the pool range. For the test itself, I ran the same water through all 4. Same tap water, and the same batch of cloudy, questionable water I would never drink straight. Same starting point, 4 very different finishes. Now here's the part I was most curious about. Let's see what the numbers say. Round 1. Total dissolved solids. My tap water started at about 220 parts per million. The ZeroWater dropped it to 2. Basically distilled. The Brita barely moved it. It's not designed to. The PUR was about the same. And the powder? It went up. You're adding calcium and chloride, so it adds solids. It doesn't remove them. On total dissolved solids, this isn't close. ZeroWater wins, and the powder loses. I didn't expect that either. Well, I did once I thought about it. But it's worth saying out loud. Round 2. Disinfection. The one that actually keeps you from getting sick. I dipped a free chlorine strip in each. The 3 pitchers all remove chlorine. That's their whole job, for taste. So after filtering, they all read 0. 0 chlorine means 0 disinfecting power left in that water. The powder water read a measured chlorine residual, right in the safe drinking range. Here's the uncomfortable part. None of the 3 pitchers are rated to make unsafe water safe. Read the box. They say it right there. Use on water that is already safe to drink. The powder is the only one of the 4 that turns questionable water into water you can actually drink. Round 3. Cost per gallon. The powder works out to a fraction of a cent per gallon. The Brita is about 10 cents a gallon. The Pure is close to that. The ZeroWater, at its real-world filter life, runs closer to $1 a gallon. The powder is roughly 200 times cheaper per gallon than the Brita. Round 4. Scale and shelf life. That one bag disinfects over 10,000 gallons, and stored dry, it lasts about 10 years. A Brita filter handles 40 gallons and lasts a couple of months. One bag outlasts a decade of pitcher filters. So who actually won? It depends on the question. If the question is, which makes your already safe city water taste cleaner with the least hassle, the Brita won. If it's which one strips the most dissolved junk, ZeroWater won. But if the question is the one I started with, which one turns water you're not sure about into water you can safely drink for the least money, it wasn't close. The $3 powder beat all 3 filters. That's the matchup I came to settle. 2 things before you try this, because I'd rather you hear them from me. First, the powder disinfects. It does not remove chemical contaminants. Lead, pesticides, PFAS, heavy metals, all of those pass straight through. If your problem is a contaminated well or industrial chemicals, chlorine does nothing for that. For lead or PFAS, the ZeroWater is honestly the better tool. Second, this only works if it's plain calcium hypochlorite. If the bag lists algicide, clarifier, fragrance, or the word stabilized, do not drink it. Those additives are not safe to swallow. Read the label. You want one ingredient, nothing else. And one more on safety. Dosing matters, and more is not better. You're aiming for a chlorine residual about the same as city tap, not pool water. Overdosing can make you sick. That's what the test strips are for. If your tap is already treated city water, you don't need any of this. A Brita is the right, easy tool. This is for emergencies, off-grid, and water you don't trust. The water didn't change. The only thing that changed is whether you know this option exists. That's about $5 for the bag. It can make over 10,000 gallons safe to drink. Run those same gallons through a ZeroWater, and you'd spend hundreds of dollars a year on filters that still wouldn't disinfect a single drop. For a pantry shelf, behind a storm, off the grid, $5 buys you more clean water than a decade of pitchers. If this is the kind of thing your family should know before they need it, it's the kind of thing somebody you know should hear too. That's the test. $5 spent, over $200 a year saved. See you next time.